When looking for the right audio solution for your gaming setup, there are a dizzying amount of variables to consider. Comfort, sound quality, features, compatibility, and of course the price. So bearing all this in mind, I give you the $10 IEM. Well, actually in Australia it's $15, but you get the idea. Now, I'm guessing the reason you're watching this is because you want to know the same thing I did when I first saw the Kbear Monkie K01. Can you really use something that costs $10 for gaming and it not only be usable, can it actually be good? Well, at the risk of ruining this video's watch time, yes it can. So unsurprisingly, this is a no-frills or low-frills product. The K01 has a single 10mm dynamic driver and apart from some extra tip sizes comes with nothing else. I mean, it is $10. The build quality seems pretty good for the price though, they don't look or feel cheap. Well, at least I don't think so. They come in a couple of different colours, although I'm not really sure why they have Wukong printed on the side. Maybe this is supposed to piggyback off the success of Black Myth Wukong, or maybe there's another reason. No idea. They're incredibly light too, including the cable they weigh in at just 20 grams. Now, the reason I've weighed the cable too is because it doesn't detach, which is the biggest downside from my perspective. There's a few other reasons why the cable isn't great as well. For starters, you can't change it, this thing is hardwired, so there's not much you can do to change the way they sound apart from changing the tips. It's 110 centimeters or just over 3.5 feet long, which is fine for using it with your phone when it's in your pocket or a laptop on a desk, but obviously if you need a longer length, you need to use an extender, which potentially introduces interference and/or resistance. It also means that if the cable dies, you're up a certain creek with no paddle to speak of. The cable is pretty thin too, and the cinch doesn't move, which I guess makes it not a real cinch. Neither of these are things that bother me all that much, but I know that some people do care about them quite a lot. On the plus side, it doesn't tangle easily and the cable is surprisingly comfortable. This does come with a caveat though. It uses molded plastic for the hooks, which means that you can't change the shape. This shape works really well for my ears, although clearly comfort and fit is likely to vary from person to person. I guess I got lucky because I can wear these pretty much all day, which I can't say for most other IEMs or earbuds. Now I should mention that you can also pay slightly more to get a cable with a mic. In the box you get 3 different sizes of tips. They're pretty basic silicone tips, but they definitely get the job done. They are replaceable though, so you can swap them out, which does give you some control over the sound and comfort. The most impressive thing about the K01 is easily how they sound. They have a fun-sounding V-shaped tuning that I think most people will enjoy. Now look, for $10 you've got to keep your expectations in check, and for sure, when the K01s are pushed hard, they do get slightly muddy. But all things considered, I think they sound pretty damn good. Not audiophile good, but I reckon for the average gamer, they'll sound as good as loads of other consumer headphones and headsets out there. If I were to critique them more like an expensive solution, I think the higher frequencies are a bit dominant. Like, with the Last of Us soundtrack, it sounds like Gustavo is twanging his guitar right next to my lobes. The mid-bass is definitely lacking detail, and the sub-bass doesn't hit that hard either. This slightly bright and semblant tuning might make them less usable for long sessions. I haven't found them to be especially fatiguing. Like I said earlier, I can wear them all day for both gaming and music, but this is something to consider. Positional audio or imaging is solid, and they deliver a big sound when they need to. Overall, they have a pretty good level of detail, so from a functional point of view, there's no reason you couldn't use them competitively. The bright tuning actually helps with hearing other players more clearly, so there's a bit of a silver lining to how they're tuned. Sound isolation is really good too. Not that this is an issue with IEMs in general, but yeah, I can't hear much of the outside world while wearing them. All in all, I think they sound really impressive for the price, and they comfortably compete with other IEMs and headsets in my collection that cost significantly more. I think this is an excellent little solution that serves loads of different use cases. Some examples might be if you need something cheap for on the go, maybe you need a stopgap solution to hold you over while you replace an existing solution, or maybe you're on a strict budget. They have some clear drawbacks, such as the fixed cable, and some people might find them a little too bright for long sessions. Overall though, it's pretty hard to fault them. Did I mention that they're $10?